Welcome to your favorite podcast. This is Olivia Blair, your host, and Cody Redd, your amazing host, the team up of the team ups. So hyped because we are going to be bringing on our next coming up episodes with you guys. We're going to be bringing on our Power Ranger fans, our members from Fanward, to talk about why they love Power Rangers. We're going to bring in our BTR, our James girls and fans, and James boys as well. I'm going to bring them on to talk about why BTR changed their life and why they are continually the hardcore fans they are traveling around the world, as well as our Teen Wolf fans. And the reason why we wanted to do this, not only because the artists wanted to hear from you, you send in your emails, you send in your questions, videos for Austin, Walter, and Holland and James to create for you, because that is what Fanward is about. But now, your favorite celebrities want you to create content for them.
You remember that feeling you got when you were in line with 100 other people waiting to get Austin's autograph? Do you remember being in front line at a BTR concert and you touched James's hand? Well, now you are not going to be in a group of 1,000 people. You're not going to be in a line of hundreds. You're not going to wait an hour. Now you are the focus. You are the centerpiece, and they're going to be looking directly at you as you speak about them.
Cody, how you feeling today? He's post Wrestlemania over here, and he's having to come down from all his accurate predictions.
Let me tell you something, brother. WrestleMania takes it out of you, brother. Like a power slam in the middle of... Yeah, WrestleMania, man. I spent 8 hours watching WrestleMania this weekend, at least. Fell in love with Liv Morgan. She's not one of my favorite female wrestlers, but she is now.
Wow. I love that
outfit she was wearing.
Change. I was like, look, guys, things can change. And he's like, and...
No, it was the outfit she was wearing. But I love Rhea Ripley, and she, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair put on Match of the Weekend. It's probably the best women's WrestleMania match I've ever seen.
That's incredible.
It was the only match from the 2 nights of WrestleMania that I watched twice. It was that good. It was just absolutely amazing. It was a 5-star classic. It'll go down as one of the greatest women's matches of all time in WrestleMania history. I was completely wrong about what I thought was going to be the match of the weekend. I thought Logan Paul versus AJ Styles was going to be a barn burner, and instead it made me want to go to sleep. So I was completely wrong on that one. And on my predictions, I went about 50-50. I'm going to say that I went about 50-50.
Well, I was like, we did our 2-hour podcast, which we had a blast. I learned so much about wrestling, and it was amazing. I was driving down to see my family in Riverside and watching all of the pre-show live and listening to the commentators, which was I thoroughly enjoyed, as just listening to them talk about like the excitement with the fans. But I wanted to say once again, thank you to all the fans, to all your Power Ranger fans who sent in your predictions, who posted about it, who got excited with us. And especially, I was like, we posted, and I had to just re-give a shout out to Jay. He's like, yay, I just remembered. He's like, I just remembered about this podcast. I had an accident on the 17th, which I hope you are okay. Jay, please, hope you are healing up. We are so glad that you are here and you were able to comment. So that makes me very happy.
At least his fingers are working.
I know. I was like,
he might be in a full body cast, but he's typing.
Yeah, we're gonna check on you, Jay. But he says, I was on an accident on the 17th and my birthday was on the 18th, but I can't wait for WrestleMania. And he says, thanks again, Fanward, for the birthday wishes. Salute. And yes, happy birthday. We love seeing.
Jay was right about Jey Uso. Jey Uso won the World Heavyweight Championship in that match. Jay said that this is kind of difficult because Jay said Jey Uso, but
yes, I know. I was going to say.
Jay said that Jey Uso was going to kick into that morphin grid energy and beat Gunther, and that's exactly what he did, and he won the World Heavyweight title. So
Jay, it was insane. Yeah, I was rewatching because I was doing the rewatch, and I like rewatched that match on. I was like, and I hope Jay is right.
Yeah, he was right. And I tell you what, man, that Jey Uso entrance, like the whole 61,000 people, all, I mean, It's like I told you, like I'm not interested in Randy Orton at all, but when he comes out, I'm singing his entrance music.
Yes.
And it's like Jay has that connection with the fan we're always talking about, like with The Rock and Steve Austin
Yes.
and all them. It's just it you watch that one match and you want to watch the whole 2 night show. It's crazy.
Well, and that's like what I would love to like put in the comments, guys, below. What are those actors that, they're amazing on screen, but their fan deliverance and in-person experience and how their showmanship, like how they draw fans, how they draw you in as a fan. We were talking about that the other day, just like these different actors that, even actors that are not A-list actors, but they're just how their presence is so strong that I'm like, oh, I look for them in movies.
Yeah.
Movies, even if they are, one or two actor, positions down in the role, they're not the lead guy, but they're, the guy next to the lead guy or whatever. I'm going, oh, I'm watching this show for them. And so I'm excited because we're going to do a podcast around not just, the types of content that we like and genres we like, but what are the actors that we follow from role to role to role to role? Because it's like
So
whatever they're in, it is just like it's it for
it's
you.
actually cool that you say that because we were just talking a couple of days ago about how when I met Bulk and Skull.
Yes.
Like I met Bulk and Skull and I had a couple extra dollars. I wasn't planning on meeting them. I just had a couple extra dollars left over at that convention. And that's how much they cost. And it was one of the best celebrity experiences I've ever had. And it's just, and I'll never forget it. And even
Yes.
my son, who's 17 now, was 4 then, and he remembers it. He
Oh yeah,
remembers everything.
can you tell the story about the dollar? Like I thought that was just, just for all our Power Ranger fans here, just fan experience in general. And I've met Balkan School too. Like they are the coolest at PMC. Like I'm just like their energy
Yeah,
and you can
they're
just tell
great.
they just care. They care
Right.
about the fans.
You
And
can
that to
you
me is
can
huge.
you can meet some celebrities who you can tell are there just to get a paycheck. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's their job. That's what they're
Yes.
doing. William Shatner, when I met him, that was it. It was business.
Yeah.
That's nothing wrong with that. I met William Shatner. I got what I paid for. I'm a happy man.
Yes.
Um, but then there's other people like Bulk and Skull where it changes your perspective of them for the rest of your life. When I was a kid, Bulk and Skull were the bullies. They were the
Mm,
guys you didn't want to be like. And then I meet them in real life, and they're two of the nicest dudes I've ever met.
yes.
So I went to Lexington Comic Con, which is actually it's a pretty good sized Comic Con over there in that space. And I had met William Shatner there. I met JDF there. I met Walter. That was the first time I met Walter. I got to do It's Morphin' Time with the Morphers with Walter.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
that's your childhood, you know? It's crazy that I got to do that. And and then I met Bulk and Skull just because I had extra money left over. I wasn't planning on meeting them.
Yeah.
But now looking back on it, had I not, it would have changed the entire experience of that
Mm,
show. So me and my son was like 4, maybe 5 at that point. I don't remember what year it was. But we walk up to Bulk and Skull. I got just enough money for a picture. And so one of my favorite lines in the original Power Rangers movie is at the very beginning, and my Power Ranger fans know exactly what I'm talking about. When they're in the plane getting ready to jump out of the plane, they're going skydiving. For some reason, Bulk and Skull decided they were going to. I still haven't figured that out. Um, but there's a moment right before Bulk and Skull jump where Skull looks at Bulk and goes, "Be the swallow, be the swallow," trying to hype himself up. So Bulk looks at me and he's like, "So we're gonna do this picture?" And like, "Yeah, but hold on." So I looked at Skull and I was like, "Skull, be the swallow, be the swallow." And he looked at me, he looked at Bulk, and he goes, "This guy's been waiting 20 years to say that
yes.
line."
Yes. And
And
you're like, yes, I have.
yes, I have. And
Thank you very much.
so we go and we take our picture. Bulk and Skull have this thing where if they go to a convention, they like to have like an old piece of furniture that they destroy like
Yeah.
almost every time they go to a convention. And this couch was just like completely ravaged by the time we got there. And they took like the old cushion that used to have cushions in it, like the cover, and wrapped it around my son's legs. Like, so he was basically in a bag. And we got on the couch and we took our picture. And afterwards, Bulk took $1 out of his pocket, signed it. I didn't have
Mm,
the money for a signature. I only had the money for the picture at the time. But he signed the dollar. He signed it Bulk. He didn't sign it, Paul Schreier. He signed it Bulk. And he rolled it up and he gave it to my son. And he goes, if you ever spend this dollar, it's proof that you're not a Bulk and Skull fan. And he goes, are you a Bulk and Skull fan? And my son, who had no idea at the time, was like,
He's 4,
yeah,
right?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. I mean, he probably watched the Power Rangers, but he didn't,
Yep.
He goes, yeah. Bulk goes, you're a Bulk and Skull fan. You'll never spend this dollar. And EJ's like, yeah. So he gives him that signed dollar, and we've still got it in a frame in our collector's room all the way over here in Thailand, which is, that was in Lexington, Kentucky, and it's over here in Thailand now. We've still got it. We're still Bulk and Skull fans, Bulk. We're still Bulk and Skull fans after all these years.
To me, but that's like, and that's what's so cool because people don't realize, like, it is, when I say people don't realize,
My wife just brought me the picture.
Oh my God, Leo, you're amazing. Oh, dude. Oh my goodness, that makes me tear up, like seeing your little boy, seeing EJ.
Yeah, his legs are in the and here's the
Dude.
Paul Bulk dollar.
That is amazing.
Yep, we still got it. I was a chubby pumpkin back then.
I was hoping you were gonna fucking say that. You do look amazing. I was like waiting for you to say something. I'm like, don't say it. Just kidding.
But you can actually see he's holding the dollar.
Like he's holding the dollar.
Right there.
Look,
yeah.
Oh my goodness, his little tuxedo outfit.
That was it.
EJ, you're such a cutie.
And oh dear God, don't tell him that. His head's big enough.
Then you're such a cutie then.
And the thing is, this sits on my bookshelf. Well, it's not a bookshelf anymore.
Can I also just say it's so crazy that you look younger now than you did then, which is like you're like I always say, your skin's glowing, baby. You look.
Maybe we can do a podcast in the future about how low and dark that time was for me.
Yeah.
Because this convention was probably one of the things that helped save my life. So, because that was a dark time.
Yeah.
And this day wasn't. So,
yes.
I met William Shatner. I met Bulk and Skull, and I met JDF, and I met Walter, and all of those pictures sit on my shelf next to each other. After all these years, it's been at least 13 years because EJ's 17 now. So, but yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I would love to do a podcast actually with fans, because I got this idea earlier where they just talk about their favorite celebrity experiences.
Well,
they
I
could
was just
come
gonna
on
say,
and talk.
yes.
That would be amazing.
Yes. And that's what's so cool. And that's what I love about, our Fanward family here, is that so many of you are not just fans of Power Rangers or Teen Wolf or Big Time Rush or Peter Pan, but you're fans in general. And we had an amazing just call with like all of our volunteers, and I have to give a shout out, and there's so many names, and so I will continue to shout out you guys, but we have an insane, amazing volunteer group, and we have so much fun, and we got on a call, and and this is why I'm so grateful. And I always say Fanward as if, I know my husband and I founded it, but I don't look at it as mine. I look at it as ours. So whenever I say Fanward, I am not touting Fanward as, oh, look what we've done. I'm literally like, look what you guys have done. Look what your fans have done.
When I say Fanward, I mean everybody. Like,
yes.
all of it. I've never thought of it as just you, me, David, Miguel. Never thought of it that way. It's always been Bobby and Seeker and Ashley and Burkhalter and freaking Robert. All of
John
it's
Martin.
Everybody.
Yes.
Ever since, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's every fan, it's every member that's like in the spaces in the Facebook group, like you guys, we are Fanward. We are all Fanward.
And Austin and Walter and Holland.
Like it's just
like that's the thing. It's like there's just Fanward is the connective tissue that brings all of that stuff 100%. Together. And that's all Fanward is just connective tissue. And that's great. That's the great thing.
But you gave the perfect example with Bulk and Skull. So you have Power Rangers, and then you have the lead, the main, you have the Power Rangers that everyone talks about. You have Walter, Austin, Amy Jo, my brain is blanking. You have JDF, David Yost, JDF, and Twee Trang. You have all of these actors that played those lead characters, but then Bulk and Skull completely changed your life. You have all these pieces. Like, it is not just always, the lead people. It is the whole cast. It is the whole experience. And Fanward is that. It is not just the core team that's leading it, because we are serving you all. Like we would
Yep.
not be here if it wasn't for all the fans. And so it is us. And the point of that is I to have when we had this Zoom call with the volunteers, we had every volunteer from all the different fan hubs get together in one room and
And they had a Royal Rumble.
they had a Royal Rumble.
And the winner is going to wrestle at next year's WrestleMania for the Fanward World Championship.
That'll be John Martin. I picked John Martin because he also has the best. I love his voice. When you guys meet John, I hope John, you're going to be invited. I am already saying that you're coming on the podcast. I hope now.
And you have no choice.
You have no choice because he has the greatest voice. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's got radio voice. He's got a radio voice for sure.
He is a voice actor. He's a voice actor. But the point of my story, I'm getting sidetracked by how much I love you guys. The point was you had all these different fan hubs come together and everyone, I did not expect, I was like, okay, I want everyone to get to know each other. We have Fanward in common. No. We have being a fan in common. And it reminded me again, we aren't here because Fanward brought us all together. Yes, we did, but it first started from the moment we all became a fan. And it just happens to be Fanward is your destination that we all get to hang out. It's like going to a city and we all agreed to come to the same city. But before we could ever agree to come to the same city, we had to know who we were. And that was that we're all fans. And so the Fanward podcast, this is about bringing us as fans together. It is no way trying to take from the individual artists. It is just another aspect of Fanward that we are looking to bring us closer together as a community. And that's why when we sat down and talked with Austin and Walter and James and told Holland about the podcast, they were so thrilled because they're like, this is another extension. This is just another part of this ecosystem that is bringing fans in and talking about the things that they also love. For instance, we were so excited. So some of the topics we're going to be having on the roadmap that we are going to be bringing in the members in here from Fanward and different fans. We first, like we said, we're going to be talking Power Rangers, bringing Power Ranger fans on, which was also exciting because some of our Power Ranger fans are also Big Time Rush fans and the different groups as well. So this was so exciting. As well as we're going to be talking about Big Time Rush, Teen Wolf. We're going to be doing some 90s TV shows with Ashley Sloan, who is a big Buffy the Vampire, Supernatural fan. I'm not even going to list all the great 90s TV shows that she is such a hardcore fan of.
Yeah, we don't have that much time.
No, I know. This is gonna be segments.
That would be trying to make me list the stuff I'm into. That's not a good idea. Oh my goodness.
I know. It's going to happen. So we're going to be talking about, the greatest 90s TV shows that we all love. And then we're going to be hitting Spartacus and Underworld in separate ones because
that's going to be hard. We have to put up a dam in between those two episodes.
There's going to be
all the people we're bringing onto one of those episodes is going to want to talk about the other one.
Yes, which is kind of interesting because we were like talking about, we're like, oh, okay. The same people were like, oh, they're also interested in this. We're like, oh man, we can't have these two topics together.
Yeah. If me and Bobby start talking about Spartacus, the Underworld episode is derailed. It's over.
Well, even when I mentioned Spartacus to James, he's like, oh, I love Spartacus. And I'm like, oh my goodness, we're going to have like 20 people. And it's so funny because I mentioned I was with my family. I was like, oh, we're going to do a Spartacus episode. And they're like, does Spartacus have like a big fan base? And I'm like, you know what? Even if it's a niche, we're like a boutique wine. The people.
It's actually Spartacus had its own convention. And it used to have its own convention for like 3 or 4 years. It was called Spartacon, and it had Manu Bennett there. It had Dustin Clare there. It had all the actors and actresses. And I thought it was a really small niche, but apparently it's more and it's getting a reboot sequel. It's getting the House of Asher, which is coming out soon. So it wouldn't get that if it didn't have the following. I just didn't think it did. I just loved it.
Where are you guys? Where are all our Spartacus fans hiding?
Yeah,
that is the question. The question is, why are you being shy? Get out! Listen, all you gladiators.
Listen,
get into the comments and let us know because we're putting our necks out here for Spartacus.
Dude, Spartacus is, in my opinion, I've said this to you, the most underrated television show in the history of entertainment.
Wow.
I legit listen, there is literally a line in the first episode of the show, and
I
I'm
love
not
that
going
we
to
said
go
we
into
weren't. I
it,
know. I was like, I love that we said we
but
weren't going to go into Spartacus, and we're like,
there's literally there
Spartacus. Hold on.
I can tell you how amazing this show is in one line.
Okay.
In the first episode, his wife doesn't want him to go to war.
Oh yeah.
And she looks at him and says, they're like really close, okay? They're like really close to each other, like, kissy kissy distance.
Yeah.
And she looks him straight in the eyes, puts her hand on his chest and says, "Kill them all." And he says, "For you." Oh my God. So she didn't even want him to go to war, but she's like, "Kill them all, baby, and then come back home to me, and we will in their blood." That actually happens in a scene, actually, not between the two of them, but in another episode. But you know how I am about that whole like romance and terror thing, like right next to each other. It's like kill them all for you.
Yep.
God, it's so good. It's so good, dude. No, it's got some of the best writing ever. It just okay. Sorry.
Listen, the Fanward podcast is going to be massive someday. So I'm going to, because I already know, we know where we're going because the fans are going to do it with us and we can do anything with the fans. So, I mean, you Spartacus writers, you know who you are. Algorithm pick this up. If you would love to come on our podcast and talk about,
let me tell you how amazing you are.
Let Cody and a whole group of fans tell you how amazing you are and how you are the greatest script writers of all time.
Dude,
Please reach out to us because you're cooler.
Hey, wait. Don't you know like Liam McIntyre's dog walker or something?
We know people that know people.
I just gave Olivia more editing job to do.
No, it'll just be like, do you know? Beep. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so next we're gonna do Spartacus and Underworld, 2 separate episodes. We just have to put them together because it is a very intense passion between this both. And I'm so thrilled because I finally have something that I can go absolutely insane on, which is Underworld. Oh my goodness, I'm actually gonna rewatch all of them before we even do it because I'm so excited. I'm like,
yeah, we are.
Yes, we are. We're doing a rewatch party. And then we want collectors because that's the other amazing thing about being a fan is, being a collector and being a collector doesn't mean you're having an actual, it's what you define as something. When like the dollar and that picture, that is something. When I had, sorry, hiccups. When with The Rock, like it was his for his birthday, and they were like, "Hey, you can take the candles." Like his wife had made him all these really cool candles, and they like were his favorite smell, and so we decorated the room for his whole birthday. And they're like, "Oh, do you want to take the candles?" And I'm like they were beautiful glass candles, but it had like his name on it. It was all. I'm like, yes. I was a cool sister, so I just want to say I gave them to my brother because he had a Dwayne Johnson basically rock like altar. Anyways, because they share the same, they're both Tauruses. And so I was the cool sister and gave it to him. So he still has the candle. But it was just like, that is something that is like, what does it mean? What does being a collector mean to you? And so we want to bring on our collectors. We have some amazing fans that we know. I mean, all members know that, just like hardcore collectors. So what does it mean to be a collector? Lord of the Rings, we're going to have a whole series on that. And we have puppets on the pipeline.
I love me some puppets.
We are going to do a horror show. I'm going to feel like I'm going to have to get some dark curtains.
Puppets aren't scary.
I'm going to have to be dressed in as a zombie. And then
dude,
I'm going to be dressed up as the horror in my brain. And then Cody's going to talk about his love. We're going to be two dichotomies here.
Did she just say I was scary? Well, I am a monster.
You are a monster. So yes, that is what we are. Just like, I'm so happy for you. Listen, we said this podcast was all about there's no judgment.
Everything.
No judgment
this podcast
and
is
everything.
All about
and I'm not
everything.
judging you for your love of puppets.
Little Miss Muffet sat on her puffet.
Oh.
Eating her curds and whey. Along came a spider, sat down beside her. I don't remember the rest. I think I might be too old.
Oh my goodness, I was about to finish it, and then you said you couldn't remember. I can't. Now
Can't remember. So came a spider, sat down beside her.
Eating her curds away. Oh my goodness, why'd you make me blank? It's your fault.
I don't remember it.
We used to finish in the comments below.
Yeah, finish it in the comments
below. Anyways, But yes, so as we are talking about bringing on you fans, please email us in, Olivia at fanward.com and Cody at fanward.com. Email us both and send us in your ideas of just like the topics that you'd really love. And then if you know other YouTubers or fellow fans that you're going, I would love to see them on the podcast with you guys. Like
Yeah.
we're super excited because like we have a lot of fans, a lot of members in the space who are also amazing YouTubers. We want to bring it. You don't have to have it's not, we're not just bringing on fellow fans that have a YouTube channel. If you do, amazing, because it shows that, you know, you love to talk about things. So we also love promoting within the fan space, within our members. That's amazing because, like I said, we're all doing this together. And so that's super exciting. And it's something that also Walter and Austin and James and Holland are very passionate about. They truly believe that they are here because of you all. And yes, they got the role because of their discipline and hard work, but the love of it exists because of you all. You carry it on, you keep that fire going, and they're like, we get to show up at Comic Cons, we get to come to concerts, we get to travel around the world because of you. And so it's so exciting that we get to bring on the fans that are moving the world forward, all of us together. And that's what we want to keep doing, because just what you said about how that photo, how that day, you know, could have saved your life, like that moment, to me, I'm like, that is once again that fan moment
Yeah.
of why being a fan of something changes our lives and changes the trajectory of where we go. And for me, it was Gilmore Girls, which I feel like I'm gonna have to get some. I have no idea if there's some Gilmore Girl fans out there,
I
but
might set that one out because I don't know.
no, I know. I was like, listen, it might get a. We might
I'll
get
just
a.
sit here like,
You'd be like, listen, you're like, it's time for me to ask the why questions. We may have
yeah,
to leave
I'll
it.
be you that I'll be you.
Because that was a show that literally it changed my life. It has such nostalgia for me, and bringing like just those kind of shows that you're like, oh, my life was better because of that. That was that time, and my family will talk about it. We were going through a really dark time as a family, and there was just finding a common ground where we all could come together
Yeah.
and just shut down, and what we all could definitely agree on was Gilmore Girls. And each of us resonated with a character in a different way, but it was that 45 minutes to 2 hours where we had this massive king size bed up in a big like bonus room where all of us would like all seven of us would just pile on the bed, get our popcorn. My mom would be drinking apple cider vinegar and it would smell so bad. Like it was, she had this thing, this period of her life, she would always carry a cup of apple cider vinegar around and the room
It's
would
supposed to be good
stink.
for you. So, I
It's
mean,
so good for you, but it stinks so bad. So this is like the smells. I'm remembering apple cider vinegar and popcorn and Gilmore Girls. That is the
well,
three
see,
smells.
smell is actually the sense closest tied to memory. So
Well,
you remember smell stronger than any other thing.
that's true.
So
Yeah.
I still remember my 16-year-old girlfriend's perfume.
See, is that, yeah, the smell. Yeah, the smell, it is. It's like, that is, oh yeah, I'm like that with hairspray. You know, I still use the same hairspray my mom used as a kid because it was like our vacation hairspray. Anyways.
Yeah, my my granny's hairspray could stop a tank from moving. Like, I use hairspray because I have really weird hair. I don't use gel. I have to use
Yep.
hairspray. Dude, my grandmother's hairspray, it could stop bullets. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
She is Captain America.
She was. She had adamantium hair. It's crazy.
I love it. But yes, so this is what we wanted to get you fans in on, and we're so excited. And that this episode is the excitement that we have for the future of not only bringing the fans on, but having the artists that are on Fanword and here with us react to your videos. And so get the ideas coming, because I cannot wait
Yeah, dude. We've got
for
way too much stuff to talk
for
about.
these artists to see you fans talking and give you fans the spotlight, because that's like, that is what this is about. And it's going to be awesome. So
Yeah,
Welcome to your Fanward podcast, where we will be hosting, well, where the fans are the celebrities and the celebrities are the observers of the fans, and where for the first time, yes, they're reacting to you, and we can't wait. So thank you
it's called
guys.
Fan word for a reason.
Yes, word to the fans.